I didn't see the Burgesses. We really do not have a civic culture in this country. And that, I mean, goes back to the lack of proper education in civic responsibility and so on. So these things are happening and people feel disconnected from it.
Is it that it is too abstract for the majority of the population to engage with? People just indifferent, as you say, partly to do with the fact that we don't have a history of civic engagement? What is the problem?
Well, I think part of it is the educational system. Part of it, we do not understand the responsibilities that goes with freedom. We do not understand the responsibilities of our of running a democracy. So we feel we leave it up to the big man to do whatever he wishes. And so long as it is, I mean, the big man is of our tribe, that's okay. But in the end, let me give you an example. Getting back to this property tax business. I spoke to a gentleman about a little over a week ago. He's a significant businessman who said to me, look, you know, I am a member of the party. The party has always been good to me. Anything I want from the party, I can get.
The party being the PNM.
That's
yes.
right. I don't like this income tax. But, you know, I would not say anything against it because, again, whatever I want, I can get. Now, how does that impact, or what access does the ordinary citizen have, you know, to all the basic amenities and so on that is required for a decent quality of life and living in this country? The abstraction, and I think that plays an important role. And this is why I suppose people like me and all like-minded people who believe that democracy is important and it has to be, you know, continuously fought for to be maintained.
And monitored. I'm going to return you to the issue of local government funding as well. We just want to take a call before that, though. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
The fact that your party had only 5 years in governance is not an indictment against any other party. Your party got the greatest mandate this country ever gave any party. They gave 2 years, 33 to 3 in the parliament. And you squandered that in 5 years. You brought this country to the brink of communism. And you can't get away from that. And the fact that you were voted out is an indictment on your part. You could not have held on to office after a mere 5 years. You should have been running this country up to today. Had you employed people programs and had you done a lot of the things that you're advocating now.
And I'm not going to send you very far down that road, but at least respond to that.
You know, people like the caller must come to understand deep within their beings that we came into an economic situation in which the previous government, as will be the case in this government, ran the country into economic ruin. They have to face that. All people who think like that. I would also say, despite the 33 to 3, and in that case, you know, it could have been 34. I mean, we maybe ruined the mistake now because some of us felt, 33 to 3. I mean, let Mr. Manning, let him have his seat, you know. The thing about that, I would not like to see even the NAR to have still been in power today. We must come to understand that we have to become a country which has a greater routine in the change of government. I don't want any government to be in power for 20, 30, 40 years, however good they may be.
Are you seeing similar conditions obtaining now? Social conditions, the popular opinion, as happened in 1986 when the opposition was able to sweep the PNM out of office?
I am seeing an increasing discontent in the society. I simultaneously am seeing a degree of strengthening of the state coercive apparatus that will be used against the citizen of this country if they become too vocal or perceived to be too vocal and too active. That is a condition we have to face. And in saying that, we have to be careful that the protective apparatus do not become too politicized. We know, for example, that there's a special unit that is now responsible for the security of the Prime Minister. We know that we have an illegal unit so far called SWORD. We know we have a degree of militarization of the police state and generally the coercive arms of the state. We know that there has been an increasing use and employment of the army in policing services, which is something I am also totally against. All of these things add up to a situation in which, if we are not careful, that centralization of authority, that will be easily misused. That power will be easily misused.
Do you buy the Acting Commissioner of Police's argument? You saw everything on Friday, that the coercive apparatus, as you called it, acted with generosity and restraint and only did what they had to do. They said that they were jostled. They said that when people were asked to move or tone down the levels, the volume levels, that they reacted by jostling the police.
I do not see or did not see, nor do I agree with the position taken by the Commissioner of Police. I understand that he has to support his men. I also understand there was a particular senior officer there on the occasion who I thought was exemplary, because he did on more than one occasion attempt to calm the forces, the bad boys there who were, I mean, trigger happy to me. And I don't know his name, but I thought he did a very good job. If he were not there, the situation could have been worse. And it cannot be said that, you know, if the police simply orders you, you know, to take a particular action or not go in a certain way, in a situation in which you are seeking to express yourself against something that the government is intending to do. I mean, again, I would say, if that is breaking a law, then we have to understand that even the police commissioner, in an earlier period of this history, he must understand that at one point, slavery was illegal. He must understand that at one point, Mandela, in fighting apartheid was legal. So there are situations in which one has to challenge the existing order. That is the way democracy has developed. Anytime whether it's the king, whether it is the emperor, whether it is the dictator, in order for the democracy to develop, it has to be challenged.
Do you think that the police reaction is now going to chill other protesters who may have intentions of opposition to some government policy now? Are they going to say, I'm not going out there to be beaten with a baton, to be pushed around?
If you believe in the democracy of this country, if you believe that your rights are being violated, if you believe that you want to see a more democratic country, then you have to face whatever coercive apparatus the state might put in place.